structures of the ANC in the Free State and Vocal Party members have also applied to join the case in support of Ace Magashule. These include a major supporter of the so-called Radical Economic Transformation faction that's thrown its weight behind former President Jacob Zuma. Well, he's funeral parlour boss Nkosencha Shezi, and he's live with us now to discuss this potentially landmark case. Chief Shezi, why have you applied to be part of this case? And thanks for joining us.
Thank you very much for hosting me. Look, I have joined because I am a South African citizen and I am a proud African National Congress member. And I think injustice has been served, and I cannot sit by and look injustice being done, because then I become part of it. And therefore, one has decided that indeed we must step in as members of the African National Congress, and doing so in my own right as a member, to say that indeed we want to tell the courts that definitely there is injustice here. There is a subversion of democratic principles, because you must remember that the case against, the step aside is implemented against Comrade Ace Magashule. It directly affects the members of the African National Congress, whom, in their wisdom, elected him to serve as the Secretary General of the African National Congress.
How would you describe the current state of the party?
Well, the current state of the party is not so much different from its origin. You know, African National Congress, by virtue of being an omnibus, has always been a party with the capitalist as well as the working class. So it has always been a contested terrain. But during the years of the fight against colonialism and apartheid, the working class and the general poor majority of South Africa have always had a hegemony in the ANC. They've always dictated terms. For the first time now, we see that indeed the big business, the capitalist class within the ANC are taking the control and are sitting on the driver's seat, and the rest of us who identify with the working class that is languishing in poverty are therefore saying that we want to hold back the ANC to its values, to its mission of returning the land to the African people whose land was taken at the barrel of a gun by 1652 thieves who came to steal our land. And we want the radical economic transformation as well as the nationalization of Reserve Bank at all costs.
So, Chief Shezi, I mean, I've met you before several times in Durban and at the Pietermaritzburg High Court at the court cases of former President Jacob Zuma. Are you saying that this is really about the working class and about capitalism, and you're putting President Cyril Ramaphosa in the class of the capitalists and Ace Magashule as part of the working class? Because I don't see Ace Magashule as part of the working class, nor do I see you as part of the working class. You're a successful man.
Well, it will depend what is working class according to your definition. When we read the writings of one of the greatest writer, Karl Marx, together with Lenin, they tell you that societies hitherto, history of all societies hitherto is a history of a class struggle. And they speak of the capitalist and the working class. And I don't know if you're not part of the working class, do you own the means of production? I don't own the means of production, and therefore I identify myself with the working class, and that's where you draw the line. Even though the different classes will have different stratas, but it does not necessarily mean that there are no classes in our society. And indeed, President Cyril Ramaphosa does belong to the capitalist class, and that's not an insult. He owns the means of production.
All right, well, that was Nkosencha Shezi, a funeral parlour boss and major supporter of the so-called Radical Economic Transformation faction that's backing Ace Magashule. He is applying to enjoin the case of Ace Magashule today in the South Gauteng High Court.